Hi, my name is Ron, and I do trust Locust Ridge Landscape to do my landscape work. In part, I needed a vision for the property. I had some ideas about what I wanted as far as planting and beds, but I actually needed some input. Vernon took the initiative. I saw his trucks in the neighborhood, saw his workers in the neighborhood, and he came knocking one day. We were just barely in the house and offering his services, and having seen them at a number of other properties in the area, I thought I'd get some input and understand the price structure up here. So, well, first I saw them at a number of other houses, and the neighbors' yards where they were working looked like they were in good shape, being maintained like I'd want mine maintained. I gave Vernon credit for having the initiative come knock on my door and offer his services. Others didn't do that. And then you want value, so you start to price shop. How much is it going to cost to do X? I tend to be a do-it-yourselfer, and so I actually enjoy doing some work out there, but I'm not a kid anymore, and sometimes you have to pass the torch to youth and equipment. And I did shop around and compared some prices, and it seemed like Vernon's company and Vernon were going to offer me a good value for what I wanted, basically a fair price for what I was going to get. So initially, Vernon, I told him broadly what I was thinking about doing, and he came back with his wife, who was more the design person in his operation, and she offered us some ideas and some sketches, gave us some visual representations of what the house would look like with the plantings that she was talking about. We liked the look of it. Of course, we had editorial approval, and so we replaced a couple of plant ideas, and then they came and we scheduled a date, and they came and put it in. Vernon gave us the prices up front, so we knew what we were going to get into. There was no sticker shock at the back end. There were no changes, and he and his crew came on some not too favorable digging days and did the work, and it came out like we had hoped. So initially, our first pass was work in the front of the house. That was several planting beds, some stone along the road, and some plants in there, and that largely thrived. We were very pleased with how those plants grew over the summer. The wildlife that would bring in. There were several butterfly bushes in there, and so we were very pleased with the initial phase of work. We did not talk to Vernon about a second phase, and then as the summer went on and we had a fairly for us expansive backyard, we wanted to add on to our patio. That's where we're sitting now, and I talked to Vernon about putting a patio extension on and some planting areas alongside of it, and we scheduled again late in the summer, and once again Vernon gave us some price ideas. It was in keeping with what I had anticipated, and we executed, and he put down this beautiful patio for us. We're very, very happy with it, and because of the nature of my backyard, which was desert-like earlier, I talked again with Vernon about getting some sod, and Vernon told me he was going to be doing some sod in the neighborhood, and could get me some sod, and sure enough, Vernon brought me some sod, and my wife and I put that down, and it's thrived. Well, we love the patio. Of course, we love the landscaping in the front too, because when we built the house, we had no landscaping package as part of the build. It was late fall, So it was really too late to put in a lawn. We had contacted some irrigation companies, and they were either booked up or unresponsive. And it was too late to put in a lawn. And so we went through the winter and the spring with our yard looking pretty barren. And his work and his company's work changed the front of the house, transformed it really from barren to attractive, and has helped us progress in the back of the house as well. And now we're having conversations about him doing some additional work next spring. Yeah, we're looking to entertain as we get to know neighbors. This is a new neighborhood. Everyone is essentially new to the area. These are all people who are coming from full work lives to retirement. And so we're meeting new neighbors. They're building houses. You can hear the banging in the background. And so as we get to know our neighbors, we want to be able to entertain our neighbors and have them over periodically for social events. And so building a patio like this, extending off the house, putting in a nice yard is kind of what you expect in retirement. And my wife is a very social person, so engaging with the friends and neighbors is very important to her. And this gives us a space to do that in a nice space. My experience with Vernon and his company has been very positive. When you're talking to contractors, you're not sure about performance, what performance looks like, how hard people will work. Are there any debates about price when the project is over? And none of those problems have come up with Vernon. It's been a very positive relationship. I enjoy, personally, he and I will have some banter back and forth about life up here and things in the past. His crew is very hardworking. So I haven't just worked with Vernon and his wife, but his crew has been here on a couple of occasions. They work hard. They are up to the task. They are timely. The work is done when they project it's going to be done, and the work is done in a quality way. So we've been very pleased, and my intent would be to ask Vernon to do additional work and have Locust Ridge back in the future. I would highly recommend Locust Ridge. I see them again, not only the work that they've done here, but working in the neighborhood. It's a hard-working crew. They seem to be well led and well managed. The yards that they maintain are really a cut above. They do nice work on time for me for the right price. Very happy with the outcomes. I'd highly recommend.